Hey, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? Um, right now, like if you hear like pauses and stuff, it's because I am eating some donuts with some milk, baby. Oh man, mm, mm. It's not like donuts and milk. I'm eating Entenmann's donuts. I love donuts in general. Pizza I like, but donuts, like how the fuck can a donut be bad? Like, you know, you can't, you fucking can't, how can a donut be bad, huh? How in the world can a donut be bad? Like, seriously, you know? So, I mean, I got a little bit of milk, but I can always get some water. I mean, a nice chocolate donut. So, I wanted to make this little topic video. I'm actually gonna be doing some changes in the Pro Wrestling Tag channel. So, you know how like I have background music in every single one of my videos. Well, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to slow down the different music that I have every day or for every video because some of the sites that I use, like I can only exceed a certain amount of instrumentals, for to download. So when I'm going to be doing this, starting today, I'm going to be using the same music for my videos for the day. So like I'm using the Monica Just One of Them Days instrumental for it. That was my shit too. Like Monica, Brandy, and Aaliyah. Oh man. The 90s, boy. Man, do I miss it. Man, do I fucking miss it. But hold on for me. I'm gonna take a bite of this donut. Hold on. I'm back. So I wanted to bring this up because I've seen a lot of promotions that came and went in professional wrestling, and mostly like there was a couple of big ones in not even big ones. We're talking about independent promotions, right? Independent promotions that needed to fill the void of ECW, right? And there were definitely quite a few independent promotions that did come up on the rise when ECW went under, right? And this was in 2002. After WWE brought out both WCW and ECW, there were really no place for people to go, right? But there definitely were a few promotions that opened its doors, that was created that opened its doors to fill the gap of, ECW. When I mean the gap of ECW, I mean more of that super indie grunge, vibe of independent wrestling at the time. And there were three. I think it were three, if I'm not mistaken, that really came up. Like I said, there were about three promotions, if I'm not mistaken. There was 3PW, which is Power Pain Wrestling. No, Power Pain Pro Wrestling. That's what it is. Power Pain Pro Wrestling. Ring of Honor, of course. And there was Chikara. And Chikara, some people might say that 3PW, 3PW was, it could have been it could have been something big, right? Because 3PW actually had a lot of ECW vibes, right? A lot of vintage ECW vibes and such. But to me, it was Chikara that stood out. Chikara was the company that stood out to me the most as the most underrated because there were a lot of people who came out of Chikara. And, Chikara was just a wrestling promotion that, it was basically, Chikara was one of those promotions that, number one, it dealt in a lot of lucha libre type of styles and such. Almost every single person had mask, Right? Almost every single person had a mask, both baby faces and heels. So it's sort of like Lucha Underground, but not necessarily, right? But you had a lot of performers that came out of there, and they also have their own. They had their own wrestling facility too, called the Wrestle Factory in Philly, where not only they train wrestlers, but they also they made the shows for the wrestlers to train, just like WUW. WUW is a promotion here in Brooklyn that is ran by Johnny Rods in Gleason's gym. But Chikara, for some reason, it stuck out. Why? Because the Philly wrestling scene was so big that they needed a void to fill. And again, there was a lot of wrestlers came out this promotion. I'm shocked that it did not grow bigger than what it was. I am shocked. I am beyond shocked, because I thought Chikara would have been, I thought Chikara would have been one of the top independent wrestling promotions in the country. And that was taken. That honestly was taken over by, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. No, actually, okay, if we're talking about underground, right? Again, you have Ring of Honor, you have all these other promotions, right? We're talking about the Philly area, right? It was Ring of Honor, Power Pain Pro Wrestling, and Chikara, but Ring of Honor definitely soared sky high, because Ring of Honor was actually ran by Rob Feinstein and there was somebody else, and I think Gabe Sapolsky, who also played a role in Ring of Honor. But like I said, Chikara, which was ran by Mike Quackenbush and Reckless Youth, it was one of the most. To me, it was the most underrated, because a lot of people came from there. It had a beautiful color scheme. It was blue. I mean, it was fucking blue. Shit. They almost had a video game come out. You know what I'm saying? They almost had a fucking game come out and stuff. And again, there were a lot of people who came out there. I mean, we're talking about like Austin Aries. Who else came from there? The Briscoes wrestled there. Cesaro, Tommaso Ciampa. Who else? Bryan Danielson. Delirious. Who else? There's a bunch. There's a Pete Dunne. It was one of the top promotions in the country, along with Ring of Honor. But Ring of Honor, was fucking sky high. Fucking Ricochet came from there. So again, Drew Gulak. There was a lot. There was a whole lot that Chris Hero, the Young Bucks, AJ Styles wrestled there. It was a lot. It definitely was a whole lot. And it's a shame. It's truly, Jay Lethal came from there. It's truly a shame that, this promotion had to die, unfortunately, the way it did, because of the fuck shit that Mike Quackenbush had. When, yesterday I made a video about the Speaking Out movement, right? And, I had mentioned that the Speaking Out movement, it destroyed a lot of careers. It legit destroyed a lot of fucking people's what's his faces. And unfortunately, he was one of those who whose career ended with that. And I do believe WWE was going to link up with Chikara. I do believe they was going to, And it's just, again, it was just the same, again, Combat Zone Wrestling. I don't like Combat Zone Wrestling. I've never been a fan of Combat Zone Wrestling. Never have, never will. Evolve started coming in later on. But to me, like, the four founders of it will always, that Philly underground wrestling scene will always be, and we're talking about the 2000's. It will always be Ring of Honor and Chikara, RH and Chikara, because again, both. And I know WWE wanted to buy the library of Chikara, and I'm shocked they did not, because there's some footage there that that they could have used for, you know, for video purposes and shit like that. You know, I mean, again, you know, I would love for Chikara to, I mean, Chikara now in 2024, could it still work? Of course it could still work. Of course. It's still a fucking, it would be an indie federation, of course. You know, like their style is so different and such. It was very, very unique. Chikara was extremely unique with the way how it did things. Like it's hard for me to explain. You know, I do believe that the YouTube channel is still up. What I'm gonna do is, if I find it, I'm gonna put it in the description. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the description and stuff so y'all can see for yourself what I mean by Chikara and stuff. It was fucking awesome, yo. It was truly fucking awesome. That is a promotion that I miss a lot. Chikara means strength in Japanese, and you know it is a promotion that I miss dearly. You know, it's a promotion that is deeply needed in today's landscape. You know, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame that it went under the way it did. Not because the promotion wasn't bad, but of course, two things did kind of, you know, play a role into it. Number one, COVID. COVID played a role because COVID destroyed a lot of shit for pro wrestling, right? And also number two, Mike Quackenbush. You know, again, it's a shame. It's a shame. You know what I'm saying? It's truly a shame. You know, I wish Chikara would come back in some shape or form. You know, I don't think that's ever going to happen. You know, I would like I said, I would love to see someone buy Chikara and bring it back up because it is needed. It is completely needed for sure. So, all right, guys. So I'm about to be out. You know what I'm saying? I definitely will do another video tonight. You know, as the day progresses. And stuff, because I got work in the morning, so I'm over here stuttering. I'm about to be out. Peace.